Let me bring in Congressman Peter Welch. He is a Democrat from Vermont. Congressman, good morning. If I've been hearing you right over the last couple of days, you seem pretty confident that the Republicans are going to come over and raise taxes on the wealthy. But do you think they're going to do that without getting something in return? What are you willing to offer them?
Well, here's the dilemma. It's a real challenge for Speaker Boehner, and I think your commentators had it pretty accurately. The president did run on an explicit plan to raise taxes on the top 2%. Speaker Boehner has said revenues have to be part of the deal, but he hasn't done anything specific to say what revenues would be acceptable to him. So the talk about other cuts like Medicare, the president's put $400 billion on the table, and the debt ceiling are really diversions that I think the speaker is using to try to keep peace within his own caucus. So the bottom line, we'd be better off, America would be better off if we reached an agreement. And almost anything we do would provide that reassurance to markets that are in the long run beneficial.
If you talk to Republicans, though, Congressman, they feel, and they will often say to you, if you look at the numbers, it's not like the president won an overwhelming mandate. That's their line. And House majority, they think they still have an argument to make to the American people as well as the president. And I just want to play for you something that just came out in the last hour or so. Majority Whip Kevin McCarthy's office released this video. Let me play a little bit of it.
However good or bad we do is my income. This notion of $250,000 being top 2% or the wealthy people in America ignores the way most small businesses work in America.
This is to the Republicans' point, obviously, that this hurts job creators. This hurts small businesses. And in the end, the tagline of that ad says, small businesses, we've got your back. What do you say to someone like that?
Well, I say that, that was the argument that Mitt Romney made and he lost. And keep in mind, it's not just that President Obama won, but the exit poll showed that half of the folks who voted for Governor Romney agreed with Obama that taxes on the high-income folks had to go up. So the challenge on the Republican side, and it is tough, is folks like Kevin McCarthy did get reelected. And in his district, his no-tax pledge worked. It worked for him. So these guys are in a very tough spot because basically they know at the end of the day they're going to have to raise these taxes, but doing so is going to cause an immense amount of political pain. And that's why, in my view, it's probably likely that we won't get a deal before January 1st. But on January 3rd, the Senate sends a bill over where now we're voting on a bill to lower taxes. The Norquist pledge becomes irrelevant. In fact, they comply with the Norquist pledge by voting for a bill that would provide tax relief for 98% of Americans. So I just think this is a very difficult political situation on the Republican side. The Speaker clearly knows that revenues have to go up, and he doesn't have the leverage now, and we're back into brinksmanship politics. But bottom line, the cliff is really much more a slope, and we can act on this ideally before January 1st, but because of political reasons, largely on the Republican side, it may be after January 1st.
I guess part of the discussion this morning has been about whether or not what the president put forward through Tim Geithner that was laughed at by Mitch McConnell, whether it went a step too far. Even former Congressman Harold Ford Jr., a Democrat, said this morning on Morning Joe he sees this as a problem, and I want to play that for you, Congressman.
When you have CEOs of the largest companies in the country, the biggest in the world, suggesting that, one, they might re-domicile to a different country, that they're concerned about not only tax rates but the regulatory regime, I'm just not sure that this will sit well.
Not sure this will sit well. What's your reaction to what former Congressman had to say?
Well, he's really not speaking to the issue. I mean, if you're going to have a negotiation, one party has to say, here's my specific offer. And, a response that you laugh away that offer is not a real response. That's just avoiding coming up with your own response. And the challenge for McConnell and for Boehner is to put something concrete on the table. And why that's a challenge is once they do, if Boehner says he's willing to go to 36 but not 39, all hell is going to break loose in the Republican caucus because there's a lot of folks there that will sing the song that, yes, revenues be part of it, but when you get specific, it's very, very tough for them politically to do it. And that's why you're seeing the response be from Mr. McConnell, a laugh as opposed to a concrete, specific counteroffer. And they have got to come forward and show the president the money that they're willing to put on the table, and they haven't done it. And until they do, we're just going to have this circular talk fest.
Congressman Peter Welch, it's great to have you on the program again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
There